Hello and welcome back to Interesting Enough. Last week we talked about our New Year's Eve party.
But today the subject of our conversation will be games, computer games mostly.
Well, that's a very meta subject to bring up in a podcast about our boring lives, but I guess that's a major part of our lives, right?
Yes, it is. Most definitely. So what was your first childhood game?
My first childhood game. I should have probably thought about this before the recording, but the game that I mostly remember as my favorite childhood game, besides all those web browser flash games that
Yes,
everyone
of course,
played,
like Pac-Man or something like that.
There's probably a flash version of that, but Pac-Man is not a.
No,
Pac-Man is a very old game. It's an arcade game.
yes, of course, but you can find it on your browser or something like that, so
You can find it anywhere.
never mind.
Anyway, I think I mostly remember playing Need for Speed Most Wanted. On my 6th birthday, I believe, my parents bought me a copy of this game, along with like a racing set, a steering wheel, and with the pads, right? It was a Logitech set. I really liked it, and I played a lot of Need for Speed Most Wanted. And I remember playing it on a very old Toshiba laptop, and this was a really old laptop, and it had all of those graphic glitches. And I remember playing it, and all of those little artifacts popped out on the screen, but I didn't care about them because I was a 6-year-old. And what this laptop had also, laptops have screens, as you can probably guess.
Really?
Yeah, and they need to be kind of supported by the system that operates the mechanism of the screen, and the physical
that's correct,
one.
yes.
And anyway, that mechanism was broken, so I needed to put a very large water bottle on the back of my laptop, so the screen wouldn't fall backwards or forwards.
Yes.
And besides that, the locking mechanism, it had a locking mechanism as well. So if you pop the lid, if you close the lid, it would lock. And the problem was the unlocking mechanism was broken. So you needed to use a pen to unlock it. So anyway, I had
It was very secure, as I can tell from.
Yeah, it was very secure, and so I had a lot of adventures with that game.
How much time did you spend playing this game of yours?
Too much. I don't remember. It wasn't on any game sharing platform, so I couldn't count the hours that I spent there. But I spent a lot, and besides that,
most of your childhood, as I can tell.
Yeah, and there was the mission in the beginning. So you had this race, and it was a setup, and your car was broken by some bad guys, something like that. And you had to stop. No, wait, was that the one? Anyway, no, that was the second mission, or the second race, whatever. Anyway, what I'm saying is that there was a couple of races before the main game, the main plot of the game. And for me, for a 6-year-old me, the race was pretty hard to win. So I had a lot of retries. And every time that I have finished the race, I would close the game because that would take me a lot of time. And it didn't have an autosave feature, and I didn't know about it. So for like a solid month, I played only one race.
You dance, motherfucker.
Yeah, right. But then I played on a different laptop, and it was pretty cool. And it was a very great experience playing on this, having a real steering wheel in front of you. I mean, a real one, a physical one.
I had the steering wheel once, but it broke. So
yeah.
So yes, I didn't enjoy it that much as you.
So, what game do you remember the most?
Well, my childhood starts with Just Cause. It's definitely the game of my childhood, and I played it on really old PC. I remember even one time I played Just Cause and the graphic card just stopped working.
Oh, that's bad.
Yes, it is. Of course, the Just Cause game you could finish in like 3 hours or something like that, but I played it again and again and again, doing every single mission, liberating every single camp that you can liberate or something like that. So it took me a really long time, and one time I lost the save that I did it on, and I was really upset, but I did it all again, and anyway.
Yeah, right. It's a pretty old game, right? The first Just Cause. It was
Yes.
like the beginning of the 2000s, first 2000s or something like that.
I can't tell you, but I think it's 2007, maybe?
Really? I thought it was earlier. I even would like to check that. Anyway, I don't have much of an experience with Just Cause franchise. I played one game, which is the Just Cause 3 one. It was on sale on Steam for like 80% off.
Well, I'm a big fan of Just Cause series.
Yeah, I
and-
can tell because you bought it for the base price. The Just Cause 3, you told
Yes, yes.
me. It was like 30 or 40 euros or something like that, right?
No, I mean, I bought it for like, okay, maybe 25 euro.
Okay. 22nd September 2006.
Yes, so first Just Cause was 2006. So, I almost got it.
It's funny to think that Crysis came out like a year after that. And,
Yes, and Crysis-
comparing what Just Cause looks like to Crysis, it's a pretty big difference. I saw some screenshots from Just Cause, the first game, and it looks pretty boxy.
Well, maybe to you, not to me.
I get it. I get
I
it.
mean-
It's nostalgia, but you know, you have
Anyway, I still think that Just Cause had one of the most prettiest.
prettiest graphics.
Yes, exactly. And the first Crisis, was like immortal. It's to this day it can burn your PC down.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the "but can it run Crysis" phrase came
Exactly.
out, right? And yeah, it was a groundbreaking game. It was like for this era that was a major
Exactly.
breakthrough.
Was it the first time the Crytek engine was used? Do you know?
I don't know.
Well, I think it was.
Well,
But I don't know it for sure, so I'm not gonna tell you that.
well, so that if it is, then that's a pretty remarkable engine to use.
Yes. After that, of course, I played something like Just Cause 2, but it was
It
long
makes sense.
later. And Just Cause 2 is horrible game. I
can
don't
tell.
like it anyway.
Just
It's-
Cause 3 was pretty cool. So that's
Yes,
where I
it
can
is.
come into the conversation because that's the game that I played and I spent like 40 hours in. And it is a good game, but it feels repetitive.
Well, yes, Just Cause games are repetitive because you go on a mission, you kill something, you make something explode, or you steal a car, and you go back.
And that's what this game is
most of
really
the
all
missions.
about, blowing
Yes,
up.
blowing up.
Yeah, and but the physics are
The physics are really fun in Just Cause
Yeah.
because you can use something like a grappling hook. You can jump out of a plane and use grappling hook to be on the ground in a second.
yeah, right. You can grapple onto the ground, so
Yes.
it can pull you even faster to the ground and be just dandy.
Because fuck's physics, right?
Yeah, right. And
Fuck physics.
and on the loading screens there are some tips, and they even made fun of themselves, the developers, that they like fake quoted Newton that the grappling onto the ground is the fastest method of transportation or something like that. Like that the Newton said, like, you know, like
I know,
like
I-
you do with Albert Einstein or something.
Well, I wasn't aware of that till
Okay.
now. But the physics in in Just Cause are really funny.
Yeah, I really like the challenges though. Some of them were pretty frustrating, but the one that I enjoyed the most, I mean the category that I enjoyed the most is the wingsuit courses. I really like them. Because
Yes,
they're
it
pretty
was-
easy, and I mean like some like 10 hours into the game I would finish all of the wingsuit courses for like 5 stars, and if I got it for 4 stars then I would replay that, and until I get 5 stars, because it's pretty easy.
Yes. Overall, flying from one of the end of the map to the other end of the map is pretty fun.
Yeah, it is. But there are some really frustrating challenges there. For example, I hate the what's it called? It's the one that you have a car to which some sort of a magnet is attached that you use to gather Bavarium, so you can throw it into some kind of a hole, so you can gain points.
It was so retarded.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
But one thing that Just Cause did really well was destruction, and by that I mean car destruction, because you could strip any car out of its body and it looked really, really well, because you could tell from how your car looked, is it going to explode in the near future. And Just Cause 2, it was one thing that they did really well. The graphics were cool, and you could see that the car is really, really messed up after you drive it for a while. If you drive it like a crazy person, of course.
Yeah, like you do in Grand Theft Auto.
Exactly. But if you drive it carefully, and we know you don't, then you could see that this car looks really well. Anyway, I can't quite remember if in Just Cause 3 the same thing was, but I think it was. Do you?
Yeah, I don't remember stripping any cars of its body. I don't, anything that I did with cars, I just gathered them and put them in garages so they can be safe, so I can call them. Anyway, I have never used a rebel drop to get a car. I always,
Really?
I mean, like, no, cars are pretty useless there. I really like calling out for helicopters or something, but cars,
I did call for calls because I enjoy driving them. It was really fun because you could just drive around. So let's leave Just Cause alone.
Yeah, let's move on. So a game that is a pretty big part, a game that is a pretty big part of our lives since later childhood to even now to is probably Minecraft, right? One of the most loved and hated game of all time. I mean, like, it was so diverse. So people used to hate Minecraft for it being so popular.
Exactly. Well, I think Minecraft wouldn't be so hated if the community wasn't so bad. Because at one point, every 8-year-old or even younger child could play it, and it was like really, really violent.
Violent
as in language.
Oh, you mean that? Yeah, the community, I mean, like, I haven't played much on public servers, like...
I didn't too, so...
Yeah, but the community was like... Yeah, because what happened, especially here in Poland, what happened is Minecraft started being very popular on YouTube. So a lot of a lot of early YouTubers, Polish YouTubers, started playing Minecraft, and they gained a lot of views and subscribers on that. So these kids, including me actually,
me too.
These children, they started their own YouTube channels, so they could post their own video commentary, Minecraft video commentary,
create
on Minecraft.
Their own content.
Yeah, and it actually, that's the part. It wasn't their own. They just copied the classic children Minecraft starter pack was low FPS, low resolution recording, terrible audio quality, Kevin MacLeod music, the
pre-mutation voice.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, I'm to blame as well, but I stopped my YouTube channel, Minecraft YouTube channel, pretty fast because I saw that I wasn't doing anything remarkable.
Well, one time I decided to record something, and actually I didn't record, but my sister did, and it didn't go quite as planned, so anyway, we didn't even upload it on YouTube, so...
Yeah, right. I uploaded a few videos. I played on Skyblock, Skyblock servers and maps. I really liked it. Skyblock was a pretty cool mode, Minecraft
Yes,
mode.
Skyblocks are cool, but My trouble was that I had no one to play with Skyblock, and playing Skyblock alone is pretty boring.
Yeah, playing Skyblock alone is pretty boring. I usually played with one friend, but there was a time in primary school that we played with 2 friends, and that was great. Playing with 3 people.
But you
with
played
2 people.
versus or cooperative?
No. Cooperative, and we expanded our island pretty fast, and we had it was one of the best islands on the server, and we had our own shop, and it was very cool. It's a very great experience, but what is remarkable as well is the core mechanic of Minecraft, the core gameplay, what you do. The single player version. It engages creativity and
exactly.
And we did that as well. I mean, not single player, but we just a month ago, we stopped playing our own server, which is pretty cool.
Exactly.
So we played as we used to when we were 10 or 11,
exactly.
And it's still great. The game is still great, and even though it's way past its popularity, exceeded by first Counter-Strike, and then
you can just start playing and build something you want to build.
Exactly. That's a pretty interesting thing. Games that are popular on YouTube or Twitch or anything, they start this hype on a particular game. I think it started with Minecraft.
Yes.
So you call a lot of games Minecraft of this era, right?
Yes.
So right now it's Fortnite, I think.
Well, yes. Most
Before
definitely.
that, it was PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds for a little while. It stopped being popular pretty fast. I mean, it took half a year.
Okay, but let's get back, and first was Minecraft, then I think it was
Counter-Strike. Yeah.
Well, I would say that it was League of Legends.
League of Legends, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, League of Legends, I don't think it had as much hype as Minecraft.
Well,
I don't know. I haven't watched
I think it did.
Yeah? Okay. Then maybe, yeah, sure.
I remember that at one point League of Legends was really, really popular, and then Counter-Strike was bigger out of all.
Yeah, right. Because Minecraft was pretty popular since 2011, something like that,
yes.
Through to 2013 maybe. And then 2014, 2013. And Counter-Strike was released in 2012, and it blew out about 2014, 2015. Exactly. Like that. I remember that. I remember the end of 2014 was when Counter-Strike became very popular, and that's when I started playing it as well.
Well, I think I can't remember when Minecraft. When I started playing League of Legends, I think it was 2012.
I guess we switched games pretty fast. I was talking about Counter-Strike, but... Okay.
Oh, okay, so...
Anyway. So, yeah, League of Legends, you told me that you spent 2,000 hours in this game.
Yes. Best and worst 2,000 hours of my life.
Are you proud of it, or do you regret it?
I'm not proud of it in any way.
I
would be proud if I accomplished something astonishing, but... In League of Legends, you play and you get better, and eventually you just want to move up on the skill rank that is Legions. So you have bronze, silver, gold, platinum,
diamond,
master tier, and challenger.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the time when there was no master tier, it was diamond and challenger, and if you are a really good player, then you probably are something like platinum and diamond. Maybe challenger, but you have to be pro.
Right.
And I never got higher than silver 1, which is pretty undermining because you spent 2,000 hours.
Yeah, and you stay in one place.
Yes, and it's not that I was bad. I mean, I was, most definitely, but...
I get it.
If I just played one champion or few of them on one position and played with my friend, I think we could end up in gold in 2 months, but we didn't because we preferred to enjoy the game as we as we played it, not try-harding, but
Yeah.
enjoying it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to enjoy this game, the community being so toxic. I mean, like, because it's
That
not...
depends, because in the beginning the community wasn't so toxic at all. The community was really nice, but later the community started being really salty. I
Yeah.
mean, I never... Okay, maybe that's too much, but I try to be not a toxic player always. Yes.
Right, okay. I haven't spent so much time in League of Legends. I play like 200 hours. I never really got into the competitive games. I don't have the 30th level, actually. So, yeah, because I played like in 3 seasons. By that, I don't mean like in-game season. I could say that they were seasons like in my timeline.
Oh, okay.
Because I became pretty tilted after something happened and I was super bad at this game. Then I stopped playing it for like half a year and then I started playing it again and I was pretty alright. I mean, like, pretty okay. And then I stopped, and you know, it is a very tilting game.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You can play one game and be tilted very, very, very much.
Yeah, and after you lose a game, you get discouraged, and it's pretty tough to play another game and win
Yes,
it
and
because
focus on it, because
Yeah.
you have to be focused all the times
Exactly.
in League of Legends.
Yeah, I've never enjoyed this as...
I enjoyed League of Legends, and anyone who played it knows most of the champions, and my favorite position was jungle, and my main champion was Shyvana.
Mhm.
And I just love this champion because it was half human, half dragon. And on your ultimatum, you could transform into dragon.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good old days.
Right. Were they so good? Actually, yeah. Okay,
Yes, they were for me at least.
we spent a lot of time in Counter-Strike as well, even together. I mean, like we met a year ago, so we couldn't, and we played for like, how long did we play? the game?
I think, like,
I bought the game 3 years ago,
I think,
if I remember correctly. No,
well, I think,
3 or 4.
I think 3 years ago I bought it.
Yeah.
And it was funny because at first I didn't want to buy it, but my friend talked me over, so...
Yeah, I get it. I mean, like, I wanted to play it, and because I saw them, most of my friends in my class, my classmates, they started playing it, and it was very popular. And I mean, like, at first, the game that was very popular in my class and I heard a lot about was League of Legends. So I was, I heard a lot of my friends talking about, you know, champions, classes, ranks,
yes.
and I wasn't interested in that stuff that much. At that time I've never played League of Legends before, so I wasn't very interested in that because I knew it didn't have a great reputation. I mean, like, from the people that I've heard, you know, the people that I surrounded myself with, they weren't so keen on this game, so I wasn't, and I didn't want to play this game. And
I
then
understand.
my classmates, they kind of shifted to Counter-Strike, and I've heard a lot about them playing this game, and that was pretty much my vibe because, you know, first-person shooters, that's what I'm interested in. And so I
You are?
I'm not.
You are?
I mean, like,
Well, I didn't know that about you because
we play a lot of. I mean, like, most of the games that we play together are first-person shooters. I mean, like, we played 3 games together, maybe. I mean, we spent a lot of time on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which is a first-person shooter.
Well, that depends what you
Well,
play,
if you're
exactly.
a total noob, then you play on third person, but we're not. I mean, like, we are.
Okay, we are, but we
we're-
play on the first person.
Yeah, because it's the correct mode. Anyway, so I mean, like, I've spent a lot of time on Battlefield games before I got interested in
Oh
Counter-Strike.
yes.
So,
Even before I got interested in League of Legends, I played a lot of Battlefield 3.
yeah, I bought Battlefield 3. I bought the... and it was a great game. It took a lot of time to install, though.
Yeah, oh, yes, it did. Like, for me, it was 3 or 4 hours straight.
Yeah, and I have the physical version. And
I did too.
Yeah.
And it was...
Yeah, and yeah, Battlefield 3 was a great game, and I mean, it ages so well. It's still great after
Yes.
7 years.
The only thing that it lacks is players, because player base is really low right now. And
Yeah, they shifted to other
the
Battlefield
servers are being shut down. So
Yeah, right.
that's sad. But one thing that pisses me off in Battlefield is that you can play sniper, and instead of sniper rifle, you take shotgun.
games. That's just retarded.
And my fucking god, I've never sweared any player this much like any player who played this
Yeah.
class with this weapon. And most of all, the automatic shotguns that doesn't even take any skill to kill somebody.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, I played Scout a lot with a
did
sniper
too.
rifle, and I remember the best sniper rifle in Battlefield 3 was M98B. Something like that. And then the Russian one, SRR 61, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
Was it called that? That was the. I'm not sure if it was Russian actually, but
I think there was a sniper rifle that I played, and it was JNG 90 or something like that.
I don't remember that one.
Well, let me refresh your memory.
Okay. Then when Battlefield 4 came out, then I switched. I mean, like, I played a lot of Battlefield 4, maybe even more than Battlefield 3. Maybe it's because that's almost the exact same game. Oh, that one. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Battlefield 4, which was released 2 years after, it was pretty much the same game with new maps and
New weapons.
yeah, some of new weapons, and it was a pretty great game. I really liked playing it.
I remember when I bought it, I was I remember when I bought it, I was pretty retarded because at first I bought premium package.
Yeah, so
And
did
I downloaded it, and it was like, well, why can't I play it? And then I realized I have to own the game too. So I
Wait,
spent...
you download? All
Yes.
you bought was DLC and
Yes, I
Okay.
bought all the DLCs, and then I realized, well, fuck me, I have to buy the game.
yeah, I guess.
And eventually I spent much more money than I expected.
Yeah,
But I don't regret it, because
yeah,
it's a good game.
Yeah, it's a great game, and Battlefield 3 and 4 are so similar. They even made it more similar when they released the DLC that included the maps from Battlefield 3, like Metro, for example.
Yes. There is one map that... Well, okay, so what was your favorite map on Battlefield 3?
3, definitely Noshar.
Oh,
Noshar, Noshar Camels. Noshar, whatever it was called.
yes.
You get the one with the shipping containers and the crane, and yeah.
I remember we could get on the crane using sniper class.
Yeah,
And just
I remember
stay
that.
there and camp, and
Yeah,
it was
that was
so
great.
good.
It was great. I remember that. And you place the device that you used to spawn on, and the
Under
problem-
the roof
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
crane, so
Yeah.
you don't spawn on the parachute.
Yeah, so it was great. I really liked it.
Yes. Battlefield 4, any favorite maps?
Battlefield 4.
Or maybe your favorite DLC, because I have to admit that I don't remember much, any map actually, of the Battlefield 4.
My favorite DLC was the one with wait.
Mine was Storm on Parcels, something like that.
Yeah, that one. There was a DLC with the sea maps. So,
Yes, so I'm.
that's the one
this
you were talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That was a pretty great. That was a pretty good one, and that's in Polish. So,
Oh, yes.
that was a pretty good one. I mean, like it introduced some change to the game.
I think this DLC was called War at Sea.
Or at sea, maybe. I don't remember actually. This is the Polish version.
Well, first one was China Rising. The second
Yeah,
was
that was a-
Second Assault.
Yeah, Second Assault was just the
War
package
at
of
Sea, I
maps
think.
from Battlefield 3.
Dragon's Teeth and Final Stand.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the War at Sea. I just think it. think
Okay.
it is that way.
Yeah, the Chinese weapon pack or the Chinese DLC was pretty okay. I mean, like there was this one map, I don't remember what it's called, but it had like a big hotel. I think it was a pretty tall building, so you could that had a rooftop that you could access, and around this most of the gameplay was focused on this building hotel, and I really liked it. It
What was your favorite mode? Was it deathmatch or maybe
yeah, the basic one, the what's it called? The
Conquest or Conquest Large?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Conquest. The large one could be a little slow paced, depending on the map.
Yes.
And it could be on some maps that weren't balanced. It could be it can become frustrating. For example,
Yes.
in Metro, when it comes to Metro in Battlefield 3 or 4, it doesn't matter. It's the same map. What happens is there are certain points that you cannot break through when there's you have this stairwell. Remember that?
Yes, I remember. And if players are camping there,
You're dead. There's no way you're going there.
No, yes.
So when that
There was this
point is
one
taken-
bug that if you lay on the ground in the correct way, enemy players can only see your head, but you can see everything.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I never used it because I never knew how to correctly apply it, but it was pretty lame because you get killed and you don't even know from where.
Yeah, right.
One thing I regret that in Battlefield games I never learned how to fly.
What do you mean? Fly the.
Fly the.
I've never learned how to use the planes.
I mean, I used the planes a lot, but I never was any good at them, and it was sad because you wait 15. Okay, maybe not 15 minutes, but you wait a long period of time to be able to spawn in
in a fighter jet.
Yes, in a fighter jet. I think the one was called Super Hornet or something like that.
Yeah, there was one like this. Yeah, the Hornet. There's some the F series. There were some Russian
Yes.
ones, and there were a lot.
Anyway, you wait to spawn in them, you start, and you get shot immediately by someone who is better at flying this.
Yeah, there were like two rank. I mean, like there were people that were great at flying vehicles, and there were people that were great at the ground vehicles that are used to destroy the flying ones. I mean, there was this one kind of armored vehicle,
Anti-air.
yeah, anti-air vehicle. It was frustrating. If there was a player inside of this that knew what he was doing and was skilled at it, you're dead. There's no way. I was pretty alright at flying helicopters. I was okay.
I was not.
I sucked
regret
at
it.
fighter jets.
I regret it because fighting helicopters are really cool too.
Yeah, helicopters were great. I mean, like the scouting ones, they were pretty boring because you didn't have you had a minigun, but it was only passenger operated. You could just fly when you were the
there
pilot.
was one helicopter called the Little Bird, and
The Little Bird was the greatest. I loved the Little Bird because it was it was very versatile. It was fast. It was very controllable, you could say, and I liked it.
for me the flying, of course, it was fighting helicopter was the best. I mean, the big
The one
one.
with the one with the missiles.
Yes,
right?
yes.
The two passenger one. I remember that one. It was great.
I was actually really good at being the second passenger that could just shoot anything that moves.
yeah, great. The Battlefield. I mean, like I've played Battlefield 1 as well. When it came out, when Battlefield 1 came out, I bought the game 2 days after it came out. So that was mid-October, 2016. I also bought the physical copy, and it also took ages to install it because installing games now, the physical copies pretty much don't make sense because you have to install them and then you have to download the newest patch, and that took a lot of time for Battlefield 1. Have you played any Battlefield 1?
No.
Have you seen any gameplay?
Yes.
Do you have any opinion about it?
Well, I think it's good. I mean, I never played it, so I can't be sure.
Yeah, I get it.
But I think it's interesting point of view for
Yeah.
a new game.
Yeah, exactly, because this subject of World War One was pretty much
think
never
we-
used.
Yes, but I think we both agree that the Battlefield 1 is much better than the Call of Duty that was released.
The Call of Duty World War Two,
No,
the-
the one before that. Because I think it was like there was Battlefield 1 and the Call of Duty did something.
some science fiction.
Yeah,
thing, right?
exactly. And I.
Like Advanced Warfare or
Modern
Modern Warfare was
old.
Modern Warfare was great. I played
Advanced Warfare, I think it was.
Advanced Warfare, and then was something else, some other Warfare, like I don't remember. Anyway, Modern Warfare was great. I remember playing the first game, the Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 1. Right, that was the call. Anyway,
I never played it.
I played it. It was great. Anyway, Battlefield 1, it touched, brought on a subject of World War One, which was pretty interesting because it was pretty much never used in video games. Because, for example, World War Two, it stopped being so popular because in the early 2000s, pretty much every shooter game was about World War Two. It was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
There was Wolfenstein.
I mean, like, there were a lot, really. I mean, like, the first Call of Duty. The first Call of Duty was called Call of Duty World at War. And... No, the first Call of Duty was called Call of Duty, sorry. The second one was called World at War. And I think both of them were about World War II.
I never was
I played just
fan
one.
of Call of Duty series.
Yeah, I don't
so-
like Call of Duty as well, but I've played only one game, the Modern Warfare 1. It was pretty good.
I played one Call of Duty on PS4 because
Which one?
Advanced Warfare, I think it was.
Ah, yeah.
I can't tell you.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, again, that the World War II was used again in the newest Call of Duty game, which was... I mean, like, I haven't played it because it's too expensive, and I don't want to spend that much money on a Call of Duty game. But I saw...
But on Battlefield you do.
Yeah, Battlefield is great. At Battlefield, I know that I want to play. And,
For the record, fuck E EA.
yeah, loot boxes. Jesus. Anyway, the Battlefield 1 was pretty good, but kind of lacked a variety of weapons. Because the problem is history. Because
Exactly.
in World War One,
You can't give something like super machine gun that shoots million bullets in a second.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
the problem
it
is,
wasn't there at the time.
exactly, and it was, even though it was stretched even more, it was some of the weapons that are in Battlefield 1, they weren't around in World War 1. It was, the history is stretched even though it lacked a variety of weapons, they stretched it, and it still kind of lacked. I mean, like, I don't blame history, right? Because
Exactly,
there were,
because-
like, I don't know, maybe 2 automatic weapons in service back then, so they cannot invent history. They want to portray it as it was.
Exactly.
So that was I think the biggest problem of Battlefield 1. Speaking of Battlefield 2 Battlefield 5 trailers came out, and the newest one,
I'm not very hyped, to be honest.
Neither am I, but there's a problem. A problem. Some would consider it a problem, and anyway, I just saw that they released a new Battlefield 5 trailer. Battlefield 5 Battle Royale.
No, they didn't. Did they?
Yes, they did, Brett.
Oh, well, Battle Royale. You can't blame them because you can't blame them.
It is the most
Battle
popular
Royale-
thing right now.
Exactly.
Because
Well-
what started in...
Well, you start Battle Royale and you see something like PUBG, Fortnite. Even before that, Minecraft had something like that.
Yeah, the survival games or something. Then H1Z1 or the Arma modes.
Yes.
And That's when it started, and Battle Royale, yeah, exactly. You can play
I think
it. It's
the
very popular.
PUBG was the first game that was strictly battle royale.
Yeah, because most of them were, I mean, like,
Mods, exactly.
exactly, because H1Z1 was, first of all, was not a Battle Royale game.
Yes.
They released a Battle Royale version.
PlayerUnknown did it, and
Yeah,
then he started
Brennan
his
Green,
own game.
Yeah, which was PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Exactly.
And it is, I mean, like, there was a lot of hype on this game. Like, for the first half a year. Right now, all you hear about is Fortnite.
Exactly. Because PUBG is great, but Fortnite is better at advertising itself.
Yeah, and I think they take a lot of risks, and they invest a lot of money in that game, and they are bringing up a lot of updates that actually mean something. And with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, what can happen
Hey, they released new crates, so that's good.
no, it's not. I mean, like, new crates, it's everything has crates now. Everything has loot boxes, any kind of microtransaction.
And you know why? Because it was so successful in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it is.
We haven't really got to the
It is-
Counter-Strike part yet, but
Exactly.
we will be there.
Yeah, because oh, sorry about that. As I was saying, yes, it was Counter-Strike crates and the microtransaction Counter-Strike thing, what Valve does. It is actually one.
Well,
It is
in
the biggest thing that keeps the game going, because it kind of, people say it's a dying game.
The
right?
game itself died a long time ago, but the Valve keeps adding new crates and people keep buying them. So the game isn't going to be dead, but it isn't really alive either. So
I mean, it still has a pretty large player base.
Yes.
It's like 500,000 people play it.
we
in
still
any
play
given-
it on a daily basis sometimes.
Well, not daily basis, but
Well, sometimes.
yeah, like we play it sometimes, a couple of
we,
times a week.
we gather a team and we play it for
Because
fun.
it's great when you have a team. It's a
Exactly.
great game. And
Playing solo is kind of retarded because
Playing solo is
the community is sometimes salty, just like in League of Legends.
yeah,
But playing with your team, it's fun because it's really cooperative and you can try yourself to be better than enemy players.
yeah, exactly. And when you're alone, it's a lottery. You don't know who you're going to be teamed up with.
And let me interrupt you by saying that I like Counter-Strike because even if you're playing 9 against 1, and by that I mean that your team isn't helping you
right.
at all,
Exactly. Yeah.
you can still win. If you are really, really good, you get aces every round, you can still win.
Yeah,
But in League of Legends, if your team sucks, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Of course you can try to be really good, but at the end of the day, if your team gets killed over and over again, you can't do anything about it because enemies get too strong.
Right.
The snowball effect.
Yeah. Exactly. Because in League of Legends, you cannot cover all of the lanes.
Exactly. That's why I play jungle, because being in jungle is the one thing is it is the most responsible role to play, but the other thing is I think you have the biggest impact on the game.
Yeah, that's
Which playing
that's fairly
solo
true.
is good, so
Yeah, exactly. Back to, we were talking about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds
yes.
and the Fortnite, the Battle Royale hype. The problem with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is I don't think they focused on crates
Exactly.
mostly. And that's the problem. I mean, like they are releasing some patches right now. The new
The game
patch
is
coming
still
out.
bugged, and that's really bad because the game was released like what? 2
I mean,
years
like
ago?
it came out to early access program on March 31st, 2017, if I'm not correct. March or April 2017. I'm sure about that. I started playing on June 2017, so
Anyway, game
2
was
months
released
after.
like what?
The-
At the end of the 2017, something like
Yeah,
that.
it was December 2017 when it was released.
And to this day,
came out
the
from-
game is not repaired in a good way.
Yeah, it's still still lacks patches that were required a long time before. There are still some bugs that were,
It is better than it was, but it's still not that good.
and it's still
Like
really
Fortnite.
badly
Fortnite
optimized.
doesn't have that kind of problems.
Yeah, because they really focus on updating the game.
Yes.
But to be honest, I've never played Fortnite in my
I
life.
played once or twice. I wasn't very good, but I killed a few players, I think. But Fortnite is different than PUBG because in PUBG you have to focus on the enemy players and where they are. In Fortnite you seek enemy players, and when someone finds you, you just build a wall around yourself. And for the record, in Fortnite you have to be pretty quick with the way you build your walls. But in PUBG, if someone spotted you like mile from you
On your back.
exactly, then you still have like 2 minutes to react to it.
Yeah. Anyway, how do we play PUBG? Because we play a lot of
Yes.
PUBG together in duos, and we have a kind of a cycle. Because there's a problem. Because I am still I can
Well,
play.
you are better than me. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
That I know, but I have 750 hours in the game. You have like 300 or something.
Yes.
And still, it's pretty tough to play duos with.
With me. I know.
Yeah, with you. It's pretty tough to play duos with you. And so, what. On the new map, there's the new map. I mean, it's not that new, but we play only the small map because it's better. It's faster paced, and the Sanhok map. And there are 4 camps scattered, right? Camp Alpha, 4,
Three.
3,
I
3.
mean,
Yeah,
the one is boot camp, but it isn't really a camp. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
boot camp.
we mean Camp Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. So we like to drop there. Often, okay, not that often, but sometimes we can find good loot there and kill people that are there with us and then proceed with the game. But sometimes we just get crushed and we get discouraged about that, so we switch tactics.
We just start our pussy tactics, which is like we land in some
Remote
we land
location.
somewhere that no one can be,
Yeah,
because why would someone land in the middle of nowhere?
exactly.
So we land there and we just pick up the best loot we can get, and we play pussy all the time. I mean, we go to the inner circle like whenever we can, and we stay inside of the houses and we stay there.
Yeah, but we don't play that as often as
we used to,
Yeah, as we
yes.
used to, because right now our pussy tactic is just looting to a remote location where no one is, but
Yes.
then actually proceeding with the game as you're supposed to.
Well,
Sometimes.
it's kind of funny because even that doesn't matter, because when you get past the looting phase, it's really, and if you live, of course, it's really random if you can find any players, because you just run and run and run, and you can find no one around you, and you get shot in the back and killed.
Yeah, that's the problem with that's a problem with Battlegrounds, that it's a running simulator.
Exactly.
Until you find somebody or somebody finds you. And
Well, maybe that's our fault because we land in
yeah,
like,
if we landed
we
in
land
boot camp,
at the end of the plains road, so
yeah, that's true as well, but players are concentrated on some locations. For
Yes.
example, at Rangel, whatever. That places are the military base, Pochinki, maybe Novorapnoye, right?
yes.
And on Miramar, that's of course Hacienda del Patron, right? Or Hacienda del Patron, and some other place. I don't
What
remember.
was the name of the place that we liked to land in? Was it?
El Zahar? That one?
No. Oh, let me check that.
Okay. And anyway, in Sanhok, people are concentrated mostly on boot camp and the Paradise Resort. And that's the problem with PUBG. That I think that the problem is that people are concentrated in certain areas and then quickly killed until the better players kill them, and there are like 30 people alive, and the circle is still on its second phase.
Saint Martin.
Saint Martin.
That was the name of our favorite name place. And,
Yeah, Saint Martin is a pretty good one, a good place to live until they changed it.
Yes. Because there was the one patch that they changed it. And
they changed a lot of things in that patch. They changed the whole recoil system, and they added a new weapon, I believe. They
DSLR, yes.
DSLR, the spawn rate 0 weapon, and they erased my favorite buildings from San Martin. So I was pretty pissed.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
The other place that we liked to land in was Los Angeles, or as we like to call it, Detroit. Because
Los Angeles,
on every
Los Leones.
Oh, Los Leones, yes, sorry about that.
Yeah, Detroit.
And we call it Detroit because on every street you can hear shots.
Yeah, but don't give us credit for calling this Detroit.
Yes.
Those names we're getting from the famous internet video. What was it called? Like the PUBG
How to properly pronounce the names.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
This map.
So the south with the guy with the southern accent this keeps keeps pretending to know how to pronounce those names and in a very American way.
Exactly. The San Martin was Saint Martin.
Saint Martin. I got a cousin named Martin.
Exactly.
It's the worst kind of Chevy. So yeah,
it was about Impala anyway.
Yeah, Impala.
But the other image that we adored, and I think it was meme really, was
PUBG with the
boys.
PUBG with the boys starter pack. Let me check that one. I saw it on Reddit. I saw it on the PUBG subreddit, and it was great.
I think the best one so far is you don't have a helmet, right?
You don't have a helmet, right? After your teammates get knocked out. Let me.
But
PUBG with the boys.
One is really nice because you can say it in almost every game. It's like I'm getting shot at, and you don't know
exactly.
from where.
That's the thing.
Or there's a guy starts shooting.
Yeah, exactly. So let me check that. Where are we dropping, boys? Why are you so far away? I was looking for a car. I'm getting shot. Where? Behind you. Where? I don't see anyone. I'm dead. Can you revive me? I'm safe. That's the thing that keeps popping up every game.
Oh, of course. Left. A little bit more left. No, back right a bit. Left. Little left.
Right behind those barrels.
Yes. Why are you a black guy? We recently did that. I mean, I did it.
I have never changed my character since the very beginning.
I changed the skin color of my character for fun, just because to fuck up with him.
Anyone got 5-5? How are we looking at meds? Can I get some?
The loot here is ass.
Oh wow! Look, another pistol suppressor. Fuck off! Get the fuck out of my house. This is my loot. You know you don't have a helmet, right? Hello, why'd you rush? Yeah, so this appears in our every game, and it's very stereotypical, but it's true.
It's really true.
Because it exploits what we're most frustrated about in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I mean, like, the loot here is ass. That problem was kind of resolved with the new map.
Because the loot here there is really good.
Yeah, exactly. You can... Actually, it's 5-5 madness. There are so many 5.56 weapons there. So, in some places, there's so much ammo. Then it was yesterday that you told me, oh man, I just saw that I have 450 ammo rounds, right?
For those of you who don't play PUBG, it's like too much.
Yeah, way too much. So you always think that you need like, at least 200 bullets. But the thing is, actually, you come up like spending at most half of it. I mean,
if you have like 120 bullets, I think you're good to go.
Yeah, or like...
Of course, you can always take much more, because why not? Maybe you need this.
Maybe you're Shroud and you have all the stream snipers to kill. And, for example, when you have a sniper rifle, like a Kar 98 or an M24, then you think, oh man, 176 bullets, you're good with 40.
Yes. The one thing that actually I do a lot in PUBG is when I find something that I don't need, I ask if you need it. For example, I think the most common that I do
The
is
SMG suppressor.
exactly.
I don't use SMGs. I don't. Maybe sometimes I have a vector phase, but I don't do that. I hate I hate SMGs, and I don't want a
And
SMG suppressor.
I always ask you, oh, hey, I found SMG suppressor, you want it? And you're like, fuck off. And I'm, oh, well, why do you hate me?
I don't tell you to fuck off.
Oh, well.
Okay, maybe sometimes I do.
Well, I think it's fair enough because I call you dog almost any time, yes. So.
Yeah, I don't think calling somebody a dog in English makes so much sense. In Polish, it does. In Polish, it's like calling somebody a dog is like a really... Yeah, it's a bad thing.
I think it is.
Is it? Calling somebody a dog in English? I've never heard that.
Well, if you call someone a hound, it's retarded, but if you call someone a dog...
Maybe.
Anyway, well, let's get back to our conversation.
Yeah.
And maybe let's change the subject to Conversation Street.
Yeah, there's so where the conversation street
Yes,
comes.
there's our
there's
game.
Okay, let's
I think
start
it's
with
guilty pleasure of ours.
yeah. So let's start with what Conversation Street
Yes.
means. It came out from a famous TV series called Top Gear.
No, actually, it's
No?
the one after Top Gear because there was Top Gear and the
big-
Top Gear was
Cancelled.
Cancelled
No, the cast was switched, right? For
yes,
other
the cast
people.
was switched and the program really sucked. But the old cast, and by that I mean Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond, were moved to Amazon program that is called the Grand Tour.
Yeah, the Grand
And
Tour.
Richard Hammond in every episode of the series
Has a segment.
has a segment. I mean, well, it's not his segment, but it's the segment that they sit at the table and they talk about
So
the
he
new
hosts
stuff.
a segment. Yeah.
Yes, and he starts every segment of this with a different way to say, well, let's take a smooth left to the Conversation Street.
Yeah. Let me Google some of the.
And by that, from that we inspired and we called the game Conversation Street because we talked a lot.
Yeah, because it's a very chill game. You don't
exactly.
have to think.
The game
Okay,
is
let's
pretty
start with.
no-brainer.
They don't know what
Okay,
what
yes.
we're talking about. We are talking about the game called Speedrunners, and Speedrunners is a great game because if you're good enough, because for example, we played with our other friends, and
And
they
you have to really focus because...
yeah, if you have like 4 hours in the game, you have to focus.
But after like 20 or 40 hours,
Oh,
it's just...
like 15 actually,
So-
something like that.
Whatever.
The game becomes easier because you remember all of the
All
you
the
develop
maps.
a muscle memory. You remember all the maps, and so you don't have to really think about what you're playing. So,
So,
what you're doing.
like I said, it's no-brainer, and you can focus on other things, and we decided to spend this time talking about our problems.
yeah, our lives.
Mostly problems with girls, but that's,
Yeah, right now we're
that's called the other story.
Yeah, right now we're switching to that. That is our new Conversation Street. So,
Yes.
how much time do you have spent in speedrunners? I have like 60 hours or something.
I think like 60 something
Yeah.
too. And sometimes before we started playing the speedrunners, I came to and I was like, I got some conversation for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's time for us to make a gentle left into Conversation Street. And you know, by that, I mean, something happened.
Let's talk about girls.
Yeah, well, maybe not, but something happened and I want to talk about this.
Yeah, exactly. Some other examples are... It's time now for us to take a gentle cruise down the velvety smoothness of Conversation Street.
Yes.
So yeah, speedrunners is... It starts being a bit boring, but...
It started being boring because it's really repetitive.
It's really repetitive. Yeah, because you play the same maps all the time, and you can say that you can play community maps, but they can become very frustrating.
Retarded.
Yeah, because some of them are pretty cool, but most of them are just, they are every single possible speedrunners feature is like thrown out there, and it's a shitstorm.
Yes, it's overloaded with...
Yeah.
Everything.
And you get really confused because you don't know where you're supposed to go. I'm going right as you do, and no, you were going left there.
Yes.
So
But the time we spent in speedrunners was good.
yeah,
Do you regret
when we
it
had
in a
something
way?
to talk about.
Yes. Do you regret it?
Do I regret time
Yes.
spent in? No, I mean, like, I've spent a lot of time playing other games, so 60 hours is nothing to me. So, no, I don't regret it because I know we had something to talk about. And, just speaking on TeamSpeak only can become, boring. So we can play this in the background. So after we've become bored with speedrunners, we actually came back to Minecraft for a while. And while you're, like, digging in a cave, this is a great conversation street game because you're doing nothing.
You just press mouse button 1 and press
keep
W.
digging.
Yes, and you press W and you keep digging.
Until you find diamonds.
Well, yes.
So yeah, our conversation street is interrupted with, "Man, I found diamonds!" And you're like, I never found them. You find them all the time, and you're like, oh, every 10 minutes, "Oh man, diamonds again." I'm like, fuck you.
And it was really funny because he's like, "So, I don't know, should I talk to this girl? Oh man, I find diamonds!"
Yeah. Yeah, Minecraft is a great conversation street game. I mean, like, we built a lot there, but I don't have much of a building brain. I mean, like, I struggle to get very creative on Minecraft.
Me too. I mean, I like to build the buildings in old way. I mean, like Middle Ages or something like that.
Yeah, right.
It's not very futuristic, more or something like this.
Yeah, it's pretty iconic.
Yes, exactly.
But what I find myself being repetitive when it comes to building. I do every world that I make the same things. I always look for a bigger mountain so I can dig a place, a home there, and
Yes.
There are some certain revelations there, but never anything very. I don't change a lot, so I find myself being repetitive because I'm not very creative in Minecraft. I struggle to be.
Yes.
So I guess that concludes it. For
Yes,
now.
I think it is. I think it does.
I think it does, yeah. So, that was a bit longer episode. I hope you're still with us. If you are, then... And if you are, and if this person that is listening to this right now is not us, then congratulations. This is the end now.
You are tough.
You can go...
You are tough, motherfucker, for example.
Why are they listening to this? We're like talking for an hour right now.
Anyway, just let's quit the self-shaming.
Yeah,
mode.
okay, anyway. Sometimes maybe we get an audience. Right now, all of our views from the previous episode come from us. So...
But we stay positive-minded, and we hope to be millionaires from YouTube one day.
Yeah, exactly. But we still have profits. I mean, like we can,
We just hang out.
we
together.
can hang out. We can improve our
No
English.
homo, of course.
Yeah, of course. We can improve our English. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, I hope we'll see you next week.
Exactly. I think it's enough for today.
It is. So thank you for listening.
Hope to see you again really soon.
Yeah, really soon. Thank you for listening to this episode of
From all of us in studio here.
from all two of us in studio here. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on Interesting Enough.